Hey there, it's Colin Gray here from thepodcasthost.com, and I just wanted to do a quick rough and ready video to show you a space that I found that's got some good sound treatment, some good DIY sound treatment that could help you in your own podcast studio at home. So you'll see behind me, well actually I'll show you the rest of the room first. And by the way, the noise here, this is not a soundproofed room. There's a cafe right next door, so apologies if there's any noise through there. It's not an example of a soundproofed room, but they've done a lot of work here to cut down on the reverb, on the, the bad echo, all that kind of stuff that you can get in a hard room. Because right here, this room has concrete floor, brick walls, pipes, all that kind of stuff. It's not a great room for sound, but they've done quite a lot to make it better. So the basic stuff is simple things like this. So look, a paper screen, wood and paper, just a kind of a divider, a room divider. They make a big difference. So even on its own, that can make quite a big difference to the sound in a room. And something I do as well at home is I'll find dividers like this. This is quite pretty when it works on its own, but I'll find dividers like this, which work well as holders for other things. So I'll drape a duvet over the top of something like that, and then maybe a sheet over the top of that so that you can still use it for video. If you're not worried about the video side of things, then obviously it doesn't matter what it looks like. Just drape your duvet over this and that'll make a big difference. I use IKEA wardrobes as well. You get these rolling wardrobes you get in IKEA, which are literally just a rail with wheels on the bottom. And they're amazing actually. Hang a duvet over one of them, get 3 of them, and you can surround yourself. And it makes this great little sound treated studio. It's brilliant. But the other thing here, so that's movable. It's a nice little effect. The other thing here, egg boxes. So you'll see on the wall here, we've just got loads of egg boxes glued on. So now these they don't have an enormous effect on their own because they're quite thin, but they do. They scatter the sound, so they make a difference. They definitely break up the echo, the reverb that comes from brick walls, for example. So these on their own can have an effect if you've got them anyway, or you can pick them up from a local store or something that's getting rid of them, or if you eat a lot of eggs yourself, it could be a great thing to use. But even better, spend a little bit more time just putting maybe cotton wool in behind these, or filling the gaps with something else that's maybe a bit more sound absorbent, like little bits of towel or fabric that you've got lying about. Stuff them a little bit with some extra padding or something even a little bit more solid, and that makes a difference. That'll absorb more of the sound, distribute it around. So that can make a difference too. Even more permanent on this side, they've got wood. Now this isn't amazing, it's still just a flat surface, but it's less reverby, less reflecty than stone, and it looks good as well. It can be a good background for a video of that. So if you break that up with maybe some sound panels as well, that could have a good effect. And a final little touch, just a couple of little soft chairs. So good furniture. If you can go along to a thrift store, secondhand store, get yourself a couple of old couches, old armchairs, that kind of thing, that can make a big difference as well to the sound in a room. Even a little plant, just make it look nice. But even things like that, like a plant, that in the corner can act like a kind of basic bass trap. It'll distribute the sound, it'll stop all of the echo. Every little helps. I mean, if you're fully sound treating a room, it can cost a fortune. You're going to buy all the sound diffusers, bass traps, all that kind of stuff. You're putting tons of things on the wall. It costs thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars. But all of these things, they won't have quite the same deadening effect, but they'll make the difference. Okay, if you have a dynamic mic that picks up less of the background sound, less of the reverb, add in things like dividers, egg boxes, plants, chairs, that kind of thing. All stuff that you can get cheap at a second-hand store, if nothing else, or even just things you're using already, egg boxes, and it makes a difference. So I hope that gives you an idea. I hope that's a good quick video, and apologies for the sound around us. Just to show you a space that I found that I thought had done a good bit of work to DIY their sound treatment. So if you want to check it out, we've got a few articles on The Podcast Host about this, thepodcasthost.com, with plenty more sound treatment effects. Like Matthew's got tons of DIY things he does at home, so you'll see loads of different ways that you can sound treat a studio there as well. Just go over to thepodcasthost.com and search in the top sound treatment or just treatment, and you should find it in the search. Otherwise, check out Alitu as well. That's our podcast maker app if you're looking for a way to edit your podcast. alitu.com, alitu.com. I'd love if you check it out. Thanks for watching.